Picture this. You're at a singles event. Loud music, dim lights, people awkwardly clutching drinks, trying to look like they're having a good time. You scan the room, hoping to spot someone interesting, someone who might just make this night worth it. But instead it feels more like a job interview than a chance to find love. The small talk is stilted and the smiles are forced. Fellas, we've all been there. Standing around, trying to look cool but feeling anything but. It's the dreaded singles event, a place where hope goes to die. The atmosphere is thick with desperation. These events promise a chance to meet someone special, but the reality is far from the fantasy. The excitement quickly fades. Instead of genuine connection, you get awkward conversations and forced laughter. It's like everyone is playing a role. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack, except the haystack is full of awkward silences and forced smiles. The discomfort is palpable. Let's be honest, men are ditching these events faster than you can say blind date. The exit signs are more appealing than the dance floor. And who can blame them? The frustration is written all over their faces. The whole scene feels artificial and uncomfortable. It's like everyone is trying too hard to make something happen. It's time to face the music. Singles events just aren't cutting it anymore. The relief of leaving is almost tangible. One of the biggest turn-offs for men at singles events is the sheer awkwardness of it all. The pressure to make a good impression can be overwhelming. You're thrown into a room full of strangers, expected to make conversation and spark a connection in a matter of minutes. It's like speed dating on steroids. It's enough to make even the most confident man break out in a cold sweat. The anxiety can be palpable and it often shows. You try to strike up a conversation, but it feels like you're stuck in an endless loop of small talk, the same questions, the same answers over and over again. So, what do? What brings you here? These questions become a monotonous chant. Do you come here often? The classic line that never seems to go away. It's like a broken record player repeating the same tired questions. The forced smiles and nods only add to the discomfort. And let's not forget the awkward silences, those moments when the conversation stalls and you can practically hear crickets chirping in the background. Those moments when the conversation stalls and you can practically hear crickets chirping in the background. It's a universal experience that everyone dreads. You desperately search for something, anything to say, but your mind goes blank. The pressure to keep the conversation going can be paralyzing. It's enough to make you want to crawl under the table and hide. The embarrassment can be overwhelming. The truth is, genuine connections take time to develop. They can't be rushed or forced. They require shared experiences, meaningful conversations, and a sense of mutual understanding. These elements are crucial for building a real connection. Singles events, with their forced interactions and limited time frames, simply don't allow for that kind of depth. They often leave people feeling more disconnected than ever. Another reason men are steering clear of singles events is the intense pressure to make a good first impression. The stakes feel incredibly high, and the fear of messing up can be paralyzing. It's like a job interview, a beauty pageant, and a stand-up comedy routine rolled into one. You have to be charming, witty, and attractive all at the same time. You're constantly being judged on your appearance, your conversation skills, and your overall dateability. Talk about pressure. Every glance feels like an evaluation. You know the drill. You have to bring your A game, put on your best smile, even if it feels forced, and try to stand out from the crowd. You need to be memorable, but not too over the top. But it's exhausting trying to be on all the time. The mental and emotional toll can be overwhelming. And let's be real, not everyone thrives under that kind of pressure. Some people find it incredibly difficult to keep up. It's like being on stage, with a spotlight shining directly on you. Every word you say, every move you make, is being scrutinized. There's no room for error. It's enough to make even the most confident man second-guess himself. Doubt creeps in, and suddenly you're not sure of anything. Men, like anyone else, want to be appreciated for who they are, not just for their ability to perform under pressure. Not for some carefully crafted persona they put on for the sake of a singles event. Authenticity is what truly matters. It's exhausting and ultimately unrewarding. The constant need to impress can leave one feeling drained and unfulfilled. It's not just anecdotal evidence that suggests men are over singles events. The numbers speak for themselves. Attendance at these events has been steadily declining in recent years, and it's no mystery why. According to a recent study, over 70% of singles find these events to be awkward and uncomfortable, and a whopping 80% of men say they feel pressured to impress at these gatherings. Those numbers don't lie. The truth is, singles events are a dying breed. They're a relic of a bygone era when online dating wasn't a thing, and people had limited options for meeting potential partners. But times have changed, and so have our dating habits. Section 5. Unrealistic expectations. Love ain't a lottery. Let's keep it 100, fellas. Part of the problem with singles events is that they set us up for disappointment. We go in with these unrealistic expectations, thinking we're going to meet the woman of our dreams the moment we walk through the door. But love doesn't work that way. It's like buying a lottery ticket and expecting to win the jackpot. The odds are stacked against you. Love is about connection, chemistry, and shared values. It's not something you can force or manufacture in a few hours at a singles event. When we go into these events with unrealistic expectations, we're setting ourselves up for failure. We're more likely to be disappointed, discouraged, and ready to give up on love altogether. And that's a recipe for disaster. Section 6. Superficiality central, where depth goes to die. Another major drawback of singles events is the emphasis on superficiality. It's all about first impressions, physical attraction, and making a snap judgment based on limited information. You're judged on your clothes, your haircut, your job title, all the superficial things that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It's like being on a giant game show where the prize is a date with someone who might not even like you for who you really are. Let's be real, fellas. We're more than just our appearances or our job titles. We have hearts, minds and souls. We have passions, dreams and values. But singles events don't allow for that kind of depth. They reduce us to two-dimensional caricatures of ourselves. Section 7. The rise of the digital Cupid. Online dating takes over. So, if singles events are so bad, why are they still around? Well, for one, they've been around for a while. But the real reason is that people are desperate to find love. And until recently, there weren't a lot of other options. But then came the internet, and with it, a whole new world of dating possibilities. Online dating has revolutionized the way we meet people, and for good reason. It's convenient, it's accessible, and it allows us to connect with people from all walks of life. No more awkward silences, no more forced conversations, no more pressure to impress. With online dating, you can take your time, get to know someone before you meet them in person, and weed out the people who aren't a good fit. Section 8, Beyond the Swipe, Modern Alternatives for Modern Men. But it's not just online dating that's replacing singles events. Men are finding love in all sorts of unexpected places these days. We're talking about joining clubs, volunteering, taking classes, and simply striking up conversations with people we meet in our everyday lives. Remember, fellas, love can blossom anywhere. It's about being open to new experiences, putting yourself out there and making connections with the people around you. The truth is, we don't need singles events to find love. We just need to be open to the possibilities and willing to put in the effort. Section 9. Rediscovering authenticity, genuine connections in unexpected places. The beauty of finding love outside of singles events is that it allows us to be ourselves. We can let our guard down, be vulnerable, and connect with people on a deeper level. We don't have to put on a show or pretend to be someone we're not. Think about it. When you're doing something you enjoy, surrounded by people who share your interests, you're more likely to be relaxed and your true self shines through. That's when you're most attractive and most likely to connect with someone special. So ditch the singles events, fellas. There's a whole world out there waiting to be explored. Get out there, try new things, and be open to the unexpected. You never know where you might find love. Section 10. The changing landscape of love. Embracing new possibilities. The way we date is changing, and that's a good thing. We're moving away from the superficiality and pressure of singles events and embracing more authentic ways to connect. We're realizing that love isn't a one-size-fits-all proposition, and that there are many paths to finding the one. It's about finding someone who gets you, who appreciates you for who you are, flaws and all. It's about building a relationship based on mutual respect, trust and understanding. So, let's embrace the changing landscape of love and all the possibilities it holds. Let's be open to new experiences, new ways of meeting people, and new definitions of what it means to be in a loving, fulfilling relationship. Section 11. So, are singles events dead? Well, not completely, but they're definitely on life support. And frankly, it's time to pull the plug. Men are waking up to the fact that there are better, more authentic ways to find love. We are done with the awkwardness, the pressure, and the superficiality. We're ready for something real. So, fellas, if you're tired of striking out at singles events, take heart, you're not alone. There's a whole world of love out there waiting to be discovered. You just have to know where to look. And trust me, it's not at a singles event.